Hi Sameela, welcome to your private Oracle of Love reading. Before I begin, I just wanted to say thank you for reaching out and requesting this reading with me. I do hope I can give you clarity and insight into your situation here. You have sent through your details, born under the sign of Cancer Sun and Rising, and your moon is in Libra, 30th of June 1990. You've mentioned you recently met a man who you feel was sent by the divine. His name is Dustin. Okay, so he's a Leo with a moon in Sagittarius. Things were going quite well until his stalker ex-partner got involved and tried to warn you against him, which you didn't reply, but you still have some questions here. So your first question is in regards to his loyalty to you and if he is still in contact with his ex or speaking or seeing other women. Second question is if he has anything hidden from you, financial burdens, family stuff, why he doesn't contact you as much as he used to. Is it really just work that's keeping him busy? And does he have the intention for you to meet his friends and family? And your third question, is there a satisfying relationship in the future for the both of you? Any advice you can give me on how to proceed and insight into his intentions would be appreciated. So let's have a look and see what's coming up for you, Sameela, Cancer, and this Leo male. Is he loyal to your connection? Is he speaking or seeing other women, or is he still in contact with his stalker ex? Okay, so you found out they recently split just before you had met. And you've noticed that Dustin is going through, it's a very nice name actually, Dustin is going through a time of healing. Okay. Is he loyal to your connection? Okay, you've got some positive cards here. The Four of Wands, the Two of Cups. I think he is quite loyal and he does feel quite a lot for you, especially because you've come up as the Queen of Cups, as the Cancer Sun and Rising. So you've come up as someone quite influential over him. So I think he does like you. There is quite a bit of emotions here. And the Hierophant can be seen as quite a loyal sign. There's devotion here. I think he wants to be loyal and he wants to pursue something further with you at a very, very slow pace. And this might have something to, the ex might have something to do with as to why he might not be in contact as he used to be. But I feel he's possibly still talking to his ex. Or there's someone else here. I don't think it's romantic though. It could be a bit of innocent flirtatious energy, because that's what the Page of Wands brings. And the only reason I say there might be someone else is because there's a lover's triangle potentially here, and it's sitting right on top of your connection. This is your relationship and your connection as it stands, which is a really good energy to be in. Possibly a twin flame, Dustin could be. But the fact that the Three of Pentacles sits on top of that, there's a third party that's preventing the loyalty of the connection, and also Two of Swords being a fork in the road. He's definitely still healing from his previous relationship. Okay, he's definitely thinking about you, Cancer Moon, which is you here, and you've also come up with the Cups as Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, and the Queen here. So look, I do feel like he feels quite a bit for you, and he is envisioning a future with you. But he's in two minds. I feel like the ex, he's still healing and he still has feelings for her, or it's still bitter, especially if he recently split. I'm not sure how long they were together, but I do feel like there's something still there, and it's not easy. It's not easy to connect with someone you really like, and unfortunately they're still in a period of healing. It does make things a little bit complex. But like I said, I don't feel like he's sleeping with her or seeing her. I just feel like it might be talking here and there, or like a bit of flirting, but I don't feel like he's actually seeing her or sleeping with her, if that makes any sense. I think they've got a history, I do. I definitely feel like she's more invested in him than he is in her, which I suppose would be good news for you. But I still feel, I'm not denying that there's still feelings on his end for her, or the way things ended, because he still looks back on it and reflects on his relationship with her. Was she an earth sign or a fire sign maybe? I mean, he likes you, he does. But the Seven of Pentacles is looking back how far we've come in a situation and reflecting back. You see how he's looking over the bush at where he's come and how far he's come. I feel a part of him is fearful of entering into a new relationship. He doesn't want to make the same mistakes, but I don't think he's even reconciled with this relationship. I think he's enjoying the novelty of it, the time you spend together, or when you talk, the good times, the happy times, and he's enjoying that physical connection, you know, maybe affection. Page of Wands is affectionate, it could be sexual. So if you've gone on to that stage, I feel he's very much attracted to you, or enjoys that affection and companionship. And you are coming up as the Queen of Cups, so I do feel like he has feelings for you. And the fact that you're coming up as the Hierophant, he does have a lot of respect for you. So I'm not sure if you've maintained your boundaries, if you've said, you know, I'll tolerate this, I won't tolerate that, but he sees you as quite a strong-minded, strong-headed, or even a bit dominant woman. So I'm not sure what you've said here, but it's not a bad thing. Absolutely not a bad thing. I mean, it could be the ex, because if this isn't your relationship, then it's the last significant connection he had, and he might have had that with her. And I'm not sure if they plan to get married or engaged. They do have two marriage cards next to their connection here, so there might have been plans for that to happen. It might have been venturing that way, and then things crumbled and it didn't work out. So I think he's still in connection with her. I don't think it's anyone else. I think it's actually her. But then again, part of me thinks he's trying to block communication, or he doesn't always respond to her. So again, I get the notion that she's more forceful than he is, and he's sort of getting put off by it. Especially because Sagittarius moon, he's still attached to that connection somehow. Moon is an emotion, and he's still attached. You can't blame him. He can't just get over her like that. They obviously were a part of each other's lives once upon a time. So, but look, I think for the most part, he is quite loyal to you. I don't feel like he's sleeping with anyone or seeing another woman. I feel like he might be speaking to another woman, and it might be the ex. And again, it's hard to say. I don't feel like it's a real love connection here, but I feel like there's still something that they talk about, potentially. Let's have a look at your next question, though, and this is, does he keep things hidden? Is there anything that he might be hiding from you? Financial burdens, family stuff. You've said he's pulled away. He doesn't contact you as much as he used to. Does it really work just keeping him busy? So the second question, you've actually had a lot of questions in the one, so I'm really going to look at what he keeps hidden, and we'll see if the cards can reveal the other stuff, because I do like to list 3 questions for each client. So let's have a look at the first one. Are there any things he keeps hidden? Okay, he's insecure about something. There is something he's hiding, his mentality. I think he's trying to manage career and job. You know, this is trying to stay afloat here with the 2 of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles, the 6 of Pentacles. He could be trying to build up money. There might have been financial troubles around him in the last 6 months, or will be in the next 6 months, 6 weeks maybe, but I think he'll get those sorted here. He's trying to manage his money quite well, trying to manage his career or income streams. And the Knight of Pentacles outweighs both the 2 and the 6, so I'm thinking that he'll be able to get himself into an ideal work situation. And also the 6 of Wands is seen as a card of victory and prominence, and his Wands, it's success, and his Wands as the Leo and Sag. So I do feel like he is quite busy at work. He's trying to make some sort of impression or be the leader. He's trying to stand out from the crowd and be noticed. So I do feel like there's genuinely work is keeping him busy because he's eager to either earn more money or prove himself in the workplace, prove himself to earn more money, to have more stability. So there is a bit of pressure, I think, that's being placed on him, and it's definitely keeping him busy. This is correspondence, and like duties, responsibilities, all these things are coming up around him. So I feel like he could be a bit overwhelmed or scattered right now, and I think a genuine part of it really is work that is keeping him busy. Is there anything else he's kept hidden? There could be, because the Eight of Swords is here, and this is more about insecurities or mentality. He's anxious. He's anxious about your connection. I think he's fearful in a way. Something fearful potentially about something being one-sided. If I take finances out of the equation here, the scales represent the sign of Libra, which is a sign of partnership, and Libra rules swords, so he's not moving things faster because he's not wanting a partnership with you right now. Now, that's not to say he doesn't like you. It's the ideology. It's the whole concept of a relationship, and he's just come out of one. And he's not revealing to you that he actually doesn't want a relationship right now. But that doesn't mean he won't spend time with you, or that doesn't mean he won't have you in his life, because I feel the emotion is still there. But he is feeling very, very scattered. I don't think he's unsure about you. It's more so he's unsure about how he feels about having a relationship. There's also a lot of things he wants to manifest at this age. I feel like he's said to himself maybe in the previous years that he wants to have, he wants to be at a certain level in his career by this age. He wants to have a house, a car, whatever sort of assets or goals. He's sort of had something envisioned for himself, and he's still going through that. There could have been a financial burden here. In terms of family, there might be something with his mother, some sort of disconnection or disorientation with his mother. It's a very odd kind of relationship I feel he has with her, because she's come up as the Empress. Whether or not she's an earth sign, the Empress is seen as the mother figure. She's the fertility goddess. She sits pregnant here, so she's got very maternal energies about her. So there might be something with his mother. Now, if there is scattered energy or unresolved emotions towards his mother, then obviously he might have display these sort of tendencies in his love relationships, because as people, we tend to model our relationships on the ones we had when we were very, very little. Those kind of connections have shaped us, and we crave the same, or we subconsciously seek out similarities in that regard. So that has come up. So there could be a bit of tension with his mother, or there could be pressure from his mother to have certain things. It's what she wants. I feel like sometimes she might pressure him on that, or they don't have a very, very good relationship. I feel the reason why he hasn't contacted you as much as he used to is a lot to do with work, but it's also a lot to do with he doesn't want the relationship to move too quickly. Knight of Pentacles is slow and steady. In fact, he's stationary where he is. So it might be that where you are now with Dustin, he likes where you are and he wants to stay there. And he doesn't want to get too far ahead. He doesn't want to move too quickly. He's in two minds. The ship is protection. He's trying to protect himself. He doesn't want to be hurt. I don't think he wants to hurt you either. I'm not seeing much to do with the family. I feel like you might meet his mother, but again, it's an odd relationship he has with her. There is no really much like family cards, but there could be a possibility that he might want to introduce you. I definitely feel he's spoken to you with his spoken about you to his friends. Okay, this is him sort of expressing his thoughts. Okay, and his friends are here behind him, so he's made it known. He's made it prominent that he's seeing you, that he's talking to you. So I feel like that's a good thing. The fact that he's sharing, I don't think he's sharing intimate details. He's just sharing about where he's at, which shows that he's obviously caring about you enough to talk to you about his friends and seek advice and what to do in the situation. So I hope that does answer that second question. Let's move on to the third question though and see if there is a satisfying relationship ahead for the both of you. As things stand right now. Okay, it's come up as the Queen of Wands. You have two aces next to this connection with him. Okay, now you've both come up. You've come up as the Cancer, as the Moon card in Cancer, and he's come up as the Leo. I do feel like there is a relationship for the future for the both of you. Whether it's completely satisfying, there will be obstacles, but every relationship has obstacles. I do feel like you are destined to come into each other's lives, but the two aces says to me that the two of you might go your separate ways and come back together later in life. 15. I'm just counting the numbers here. So that's 9, 5, 4, 8. Okay, 8 has come up twice. With the Queen of Wands, she represents the eighth month of the year, August, and then you have the 8 of Pentacles. You might be together for a period of 8 weeks and then sort of distance yourselves and then come back in. But two aces, I feel like there's 2 attempts at this relationship. But I do see a relationship for you. You're both here. But it's going to take, you'll have to fight for the relationship. It's going to take a lot. Ace of Swords. I feel like you'll have to fight for this connection. And where in areas where you'll have to fight is for attention and not to be neglected, not to feel neglected, or not to neglect him. I think that would be very, very important for the success of this relationship. I feel like you can have something, but I feel like he needs to put in more effort. The 8 of Pentacles is sitting above him, and he needs to open up more, which again, you need to give him time to do that. If he really likes you and really cares, he will open up. He will reveal his insecurities, his vulnerabilities, and he will want to fight for you and your connection. I think you're coming, I don't know if it's communication, but that communication is sitting next to you here with the Moon. So I don't know if this is you need to work more on communication or the way you communicate, or you need to be more open about your feelings. But there's something about communication next to you here, or you bring your strengths is communication in this relationship. Common interests, your effort, your inquisitive energy, your care factor, this is coming up around you. So I feel like there is potentially a satisfying relationship. I think the hurdles lie really in this sort of 3-part tripartite. The fact that he might have not opened up, and the fact that something about neglect. Sometimes things are one-sided when it's the 5 of Pentacles. We see how the other side is. So I think that might have something to do with he needs to open up. If it's not you that needs to open up, if you've shared your vulnerabilities, if you've shared everything and you've opened up, then he needs to do that. And if he does, which he is capable of doing, he's absolutely capable of doing that, because you've got 2 aces. So I feel like you're destined, your lives were meant to crisscross at this point in time. So I do think there's something successful that can come of your relationship together, but you're going to need to work at these obstacles. And he's going to need to open up. He's closed off right now with the 4 of Pentacles. You definitely need to give him time. I think in the next 4 to 5 weeks or months, you might see changes if you're still connected. You might see changes within him. I feel like he's fearful of the notion of having a relationship, yet a part of him is still open. See how the Queen of Wands is open? So the fact that he's still open to seeing you and connecting with you says that a part of him is still keen to see where this goes. But I feel another part of him is just so closed off in the sense, in the physical sense, giving you a title and saying we're exclusive, we're in a relationship. That I think scares him a little. That makes him feel on the outs. So if you've been talking about that, like where are we going, where is the direction of this, if you've mentioned this, I feel every time you do, it instills more fear in him. And I know you're probably sitting there wishing that he wouldn't be fearful and that he just could trust. And well, we don't know what necessarily happened in his previous relationship, where that trust has gone, where this insecurity stems from. So if you like him, you'll have to be patient with him. You'll have to be your kind, nurturing, empathetic self. And I do feel like he very much admires that about you, hence why he's still connected with you. So in one way, I feel like he finds solace or peace with you. And I think that's also a part due to the part that he still feels like he wants to give you the time of day. But I feel like you might be pushing him away if you're pressuring him too much. You know, and like I said, you're sitting there wishing he wasn't like that. Well, I wish he wasn't like that either for you. I do, but unfortunately, people walk their own journeys, and they need to go through whatever they need to go through for self-growth and self-journeying, etc. But look, if this isn't you coming up as signs, and I feel like the time of Leo or the time of Cancer could see a relationship happen or some sort of significant development in your connection take place. I'm leaning towards in the next year or two. I think it's next year in the time of Cancer, which would be June, July, August. This sort of period, there's some sort of development. Whether it brings you closer together or drives you apart, that time next year, I think will be very, very telling of where this relationship is going and if in fact it is going to be a satisfying relationship for the both of you. So you might keep an eye out on that time or the lead up to that time even. So these months are very, very crucial, that you'll both have to fight for it in your own ways, okay? But I do think he has good intentions. I just feel like it's insecurities that are holding him back and his unwillingness to open up completely. So that's something you might have to give him time on. And only then, after which you'll see if this relationship. But I think for the most part, there's beautiful potential here. I see it. I just feel like there's lots of love and nurturing and overcoming of obstacles. But once that's, once that's over and done with, I do feel like the both of you can have quite a satisfying, loyal relationship together. So I guess time will tell. But look, I will leave it at that. I do hope it works out for you. Best of luck with it all, Sameela. So take care, and hopefully we'll catch up in future. So bye for now.